I keep about 15% of my portfolio in an investment most people think is boring. But in 2008, while my friends were watching their stocks crash and losing sleep every night, this investment quietly went up over 20%. And during the COVID crash in 2020, when the market dropped nearly 30% in a month, this same investment spiked, and I used the gains to buy stocks while they were on sale. I'm talking about Treasury bonds. And if your portfolio is 100% stocks right now, this is the part most people miss. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how I use Treasury bonds, why they're in my portfolio, and the specific strategy I follow to protect my money when markets get ugly. Let's get into it. Here's how I got into Treasury bonds. Back in 2018, I was basically 100% stocks. Tech stocks, growth stocks, dividend stocks, I was all in. And when the market was going up, it felt amazing. Then 2020 hit. COVID happened, and I watched my portfolio drop about 35% in 3 weeks. I didn't panic sell, thankfully, but I realized something important. I had zero protection. When stocks fell, everything I owned fell together. That sent me down a rabbit hole. I started asking one simple question. What actually goes up when stocks go down? And I kept seeing the same answer over and over again. Treasury bonds. So I started learning everything I could about them, and what I discovered completely changed how I think about building a portfolio. At the most basic level, Treasury bonds are simple. You're loaning money to the U.S. government. They pay you interest every 6 months, and they pay you back after a set number of years, 10, 20, 30 years, whatever you choose. It's considered one of the safest loans you can make. The U.S. government has never missed a payment in over 200 years. But the real value isn't just safety. It's what happens to bond prices during a recession. In early 2020, I owned shares of TLT, an ETF that holds long-term U.S. Treasury bonds. I bought it at around $140 per share. When COVID crashed the markets in March 2020, the Fed slashed interest rates from about 1.75% down to 0.25%. And while stocks were getting demolished, my Treasury bonds spiked. TLT ran up to around $170 per share, about a 21% gain in roughly 2 months. Now, that price was during 2020. Since then, aggressive interest rate hikes have pushed long-term bonds way down, which is exactly why timing matters with Treasury bonds. I'll put the chart on screen so you can actually see that spike and what happened afterward. And here's the key part. This is the strategy. When my bonds spiked, I didn't just sit there and feel good about it. I sold about half of my Treasury bond position and turned that into cash. Then I used that cash to buy high-quality stocks that were down 30, 40, even 50%. So I wasn't just protected during the crash, I had ammunition. That's when Treasury bonds clicked for me. They're not just about playing it safe. They're about having dry powder when everyone else is panicking. It's like owning a fire extinguisher that also prints money during the fire. Here's exactly how I use Treasury bonds today. Under normal market conditions, I keep about 10 to 15% of my portfolio in Treasury bonds, mostly through the TLT ETF, which holds long-term bonds, 20 years or more. Why long-term bonds? Because they're the most sensitive to interest rate changes. Short-term bonds are more stable, but they barely move during a recession. Long-term bonds can gain 20 to 30% when the Fed cuts rates aggressively. I don't just set this and forget it. When stocks look expensive, high valuations, lots of optimism, I'll increase my Treasury allocation closer to 15 to 20%. I'm basically saying, if things get ugly, I want more protection. When stocks crash and go on sale, I do the opposite. I reduce my Treasury position down to 5 to 10% and move that money into stocks. Protect when things are expensive, attack when things are cheap. Treasury bonds are what give me the flexibility to do that. I also buy some individual treasuries through treasurydirect.gov, usually 10-year notes that I hold to maturity. I ladder them, meaning I buy one every year, so I always have bonds maturing and giving me cash back. But honestly, for most people, the ETF is simpler. You can buy and sell it instantly like a stock. Now let me save you some pain by sharing the mistakes I made early on. Mistake number 1. I owned too many bonds when rates were rising. In 2021, inflation was taking off, and the Fed was about to start hiking rates. I still had a large Treasury position, and I watched it drop about 20%. Rising rates make existing bonds less valuable. You want bonds when rates are high and likely to fall, not when they're about to rise. Mistake number 2. I got too defensive too early. In 2019, I got scared about a recession and pushed my bond allocation close to 30%. Then the market went on to rise another 20%, and I missed out on a lot of upside. Being too defensive can hurt you just as much as being reckless. Mistake number 3. I didn't take profits fast enough. When bonds spiked during COVID, I initially just held them. I didn't immediately sell and redeploy into stocks. Now I know, when bonds surge during a crash, that's your signal to take some profits and put that money to work. So here's what I'm doing right now. I'm currently around 12% in Treasury bonds through TLT. Not overly defensive, but enough that if markets drop, I have real protection. I'm watching the Fed closely. If we see clear signals that rate cuts are coming, especially alongside recession warnings, I'll increase that allocation toward 15 to 20%. And if markets crash and my bonds spike, I'm ready to sell part of that position and move into stocks. That's the plan. Use bonds as a cushion. Use them as ammunition. Treasury bonds aren't about getting rich. They're about not getting poor when everything else is falling, and being ready when real opportunities show up. Next week, I'm breaking down how I use utilities and infrastructure stocks, another defensive position that's played a big role in my portfolio. If you want to see that, subscribe so you don't miss it. I'm walking through all 7 of my recession-ready investments and showing exactly how I personally use each one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.